All right, Prashant, thanks a lot for that. In fact, you've put many data points in front of us. So let's toss all of those questions to our next guest who joins in. Susmit Patodia, the Associate Director Fund Manager at Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company, is here with us to talk about what's the market been up to and how one should approach it henceforth. Susmit, hi, good morning, and thanks so much for being with us on the show. My first question to you is the kind of rally that we've seen so far. I mean, what have you made of it? The market move just doesn't go in tandem with the kind of slowdown that we've seen during this lockdown. As an equity market investor, how does one approach it? Is this the time to put fresh money to work? If yes, what are the pockets you'd be looking at?
Yeah, hi, good morning, Sonia, and good morning, viewers. Thanks for having me here. I think markets, will look at the trend of recovery rather than absolute data points, because everyone knows that Q1 is going to be a complete write-off, right? So there's no point in looking at auto numbers of April or GST collection data. Everybody is just going to look at the trend coming out of this lockdown or this epidemic. So how much better is May compared to April? How much better is June compared to May? I think what the government has done in Unlock 1.0 is one of the biggest positives is that they have allowed interstate movement of goods and people, right? So this entire closing of economy that happened in India, this will now free up the little bit of cholesterol that had gone into the system, and I think this is what I would say is the most important change compared to green, red, amber, lockdown that we had. Obviously, states will take their own views, but how Maharashtra has taken in some cities. But generally, I think movement of goods and people to restart is the biggest positive.
So what does this really mean for industries in terms of manufacturing? Because, I'll give you examples. A lot of key industry players that we spoke to, cement, for example, they told us that the demand situation has picked up quite a bit. In autos, M&M told us that the sales, although very low, not as bad as what they were fearing as the lockdown eased. Where do you see green shoots or pockets of recovery now over the next 3 to 6 months? And as an equity investor, how do you capitalize on that?
So I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think rural is going to come out faster and stronger than the urban centers of India, and M&M and cement are very good reflections of that hypothesis. Also, I think is a lot of the incomplete projects will race towards completion as well. So you will see a little bit of pent-up demand even from that space. So, now even if you're in Bombay, you're allowed to complete a residential project or a real estate project for that matter that you had started pre the lockdown, right? So that will require cement. And I think you will see cement demand come from these incomplete projects marching towards completion, and also the rural demand. Coming to rural, I think we've had great monsoons in the last couple of years, and with this, with the track and the whole labor migration happening in reverse, you will see sowing happening much more than we had seen in the last 3-4 years. Plus, the government has done a phenomenal job, if you look at the numbers, in terms of spending on fertilizers and agri in the first couple of months of this financial year already. So I think procurement from the government gives confidence to the farmers that even in tough situations, the government stands by them and procures the grains. The spend on fertilizers and seeds in April and May is near all-time high by the government, again gives confidence to the farmers. And labor availability is the third, I would say, leg to this entire rural recovery now. So, tractors, cement demand from rural could do really well. We've already seen, agri stocks and seed stocks do extremely well as well. That is one pocket of the market that is ignored probably because they don't have an index, but they've probably done as well as pharma companies have.
Susmit, hi, morning, Prashant here. If we take any phase of the market, right, 2004 to 8, 8 to 12, 13, after that, starting 2000, earning over a period of time, markets only do as much as earnings growth. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what does how does one look at that and come to the conclusion that, well, the market has got great upsides from here, because earnings growth is essentially has been very, very low and is going to collapse now, as we all know. You can say that we already know it, but the point is that, well, that is what is going to happen, at least in 21, 22. I mean, it's too far out. We don't know how it's going to pan out. So how do you project market returns from here?
Yeah, so interesting you asked that. We just completed an exercise, I would say the last 3 days on it. So what we realized is that when earnings visibility is as low as we are in the situation today, you will look at the recovery of the glide path of the earnings rather than the earnings themselves, right? So you may not look at Q1 earnings in absolute, but you will look at June, April, May earnings. And if you look at companies, they've already started giving out the breakup of how March was, Jan was, Feb was, and how they think. So you will see more and more companies talk about the glide path that they are seeing within their companies, and that is what the markets will take away as any sort of predictive force for the future. Now, the other exercise that we did was, so how do you invest, right? How do you know whether this is an overheated market or not an overheated market? So when the visibility is low, you need to go back to static multiples, which is price to book, is what is the most widely used static multiple in the markets. And if you look at the ratio of price to book and GSEC yield in India, we are at those levels where typically markets have returned double-digit returns in the next 3 years. Please don't forget, you look at the yields in India, right? We are looking at AAA, single A, double A. All these bond yields are nearly at 15 to 17-year lows, right? Obviously, this doesn't matter right now because nobody can borrow for productive purpose. But this is a tailwind that cannot be discounted. At least equity markets, as Mr. Buffett said, that rates are the gravitational pull. So, as rates fall, valuations will expand.
So even, okay, so fair enough. I mean, so the point is, even though earnings will continue to be weak and the recovery is going to be weak, multiples, it's a multiples game, you're saying, Sushmit, from here.
Yeah, because, I mean, see, as you rightly said, right, there's no way you can predict FY21 or FY22 earnings for any company, right? I'm not sure even the companies can predict it themselves. So, if you don't have that as an enabler, you have to go back to static multiples. And what is the static multiple? It's the price to book and the ROE, right? So these are the static multiples that you could use then to figure out, where you are in the phase of the market.
Sushmit, there's 30 seconds for this one. From where we are, you think we are on road in this episode of Upmove to correct a large part of the underperformance vis-a-vis global markets, or do you think we're done for now? It's a very near-term, short-termish kind of question, but go for it.
So I've always been surprised, when the US was tearing away, Nasdaq nearly reaching all-time high, and the Indian markets were on a slumber. There's no reason for Indian markets to have underperformed so much, right? Our underperformance went to the tune of 15-20% to emerging market indices. So I think that is the correction that is happening. And typical of markets, when the US markets are flatline, Indian markets are roaring. So as you're rightly saying, this is a catch-up phase. We have not done as bad, or our economy is not doing any worse off than any other emerging market. So I think you will see a full catch-up happening to the other emerging markets at least.
Okay, which means that there may be more to go. Sushmit, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining in and running us through what you're making of things out there. We'll take a very quick break here. The first on the show.